to Lavera Neshay's network or Lavera Neshay Network TV or something like that, where all things are possible. Absolutely. With God. Hello, everybody. Yes, I turned the camera off because I'm looking like a fabulous being. I'm not sure you're ready for that. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community guidelines. I'm working on that myself because I never read them, although I did, but I didn't because I pretty much stay within the guidelines. People just love to. Well, I think she crossed the line right there. We need to get her. She crossed. No, she didn't. Darn. Yeah, that. Anyway, hello. Good afternoon. The sun is shining here in Chicago. Yes, it is. Listen. So I've been going on the front line of God. Giving out what I feel is what God has given me. Now, normally I'm on Vera's Rogue Report on Daily Divine Guidance. Yeah, now that's a little bit confusing the way the title is, but they said they didn't like that other name, 9774. So that I should, it's just a suggestion that you add something like your name. Something simple. Be yourself, authentic, all day, every day. So I did, but I left that other part on. Okay? I'm just creative. I like the names that I come up with that God gives me. And I hate to just to go dump it because somebody say, I don't really like that name. Huh. So anyway, that's where I'm at most of the time. But welcome to the show. It's 2 minutes in. And so for this particular video, again, I've been going on frontline for God. That's just my story. I'm sticking to it. And I feel that, right is right. Doesn't matter where you got it from. And so I speak a lot about doing the right thing and, don't be a clown for evil forces. So a lot of people have already gotten bitten by evil forces and they're struggling to stay abreast. I get it. And I try to encourage them, but I also, um, for those that are sold out to evil or dark forces and they love it and they're recruiting and they're punishing people because they feel that's the couch, by the way. They feel like they are in the way of their evil endeavors. I thought about that earlier, guys. I can show you my face if you tell me, but anyway, um, it's like people fight for the right to be evil. And I thought, is this legal? Like, you have the right to pursue happiness. Uh, and yeah, that is constitutional. That's common sense. That is God, right? But that doesn't mean just because you enjoy eating people's skin and, doing little heinous things to children. I scratch my eyebrows because my temple gets a little uncomfortable. Because it's like, when it said pursue happiness, I don't think it meant to the degree that you would kill or hurt somebody. You know, I don't think that's covered under sanity. I could be wrong, and people want to press the issue like, well, I have a gun, I have power, I have authority to do as I see fit because I got the orders too, and it's just that there's a higher power here, and I'm not sure why no one's traced it back to it's God that's in control. So again, I'm going to kind of always be the voice for what I feel is appropriate for the season. And people are like, well, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. Let's just drown her out, block her. Let's just tell people not to chat on her page and, show any interest. Keep her at zero. Kick everybody out the chat. Block all the people that could type on her page. It doesn't matter. She's not important. She's not talking about what we want. We feel like we have the right to harm people if we don't like them or don't respect them. We feel like we have the right to take their children and do what we want and put them in foster care and then into the homes of predators. We are in control. And if you look at that parallel line of that lie, huh, they didn't give themselves air, they didn't give themselves life, they didn't give themselves anything that God didn't make. And again, if you go back down just through chains of events, you'll see throughout history where God had to correct people that just didn't seem to have the knowledge and information to understand that God is the head of everything. God is the source of everything. So if you're acting outside of that and going ahead of him, then he has to balance things. And that sometimes affects an entire group. So I see what's coming, but people are kind of again kicking people out of the chat, blocking people from typing and supporting my page and sending donations. And it's not people per se, it's energy. They don't want people to get on the train of righteousness or fairness or balance. And that's absolutely fine because God is telling me to shh. Because what's going to happen next is he's going to have personal conversations with these people. Hi, Chocolate Dude, what's up? And this will result in them publicly coming out either in a straitjacket or almost like a Christian, literally repented, cleansed of any demonic activity. And they're going to be like, I've seen the light. And it's not even going to be a hoax. Everybody's going to know, oh my God. Now, the churches were supposed to get this claim to fame of rebuking spirits that are not of God, like an exorcism or deliverance, but they didn't step up. They just want to shine like, I don't agree with you. I'm not shaking your hand. That's a Judas kiss or handshake, I don't know. But they could have actually removed these spirits. Somebody somewhere has a book or something that tells them how to remove these energies from these people to save their lives, save society, and all that good stuff. But what's going to probably happen is God is going to keep putting various people's faces and words in some of these people's minds and spirits. And they're going to have to come out and say, I never was a believer. I heard about it, I participate, but I never really got involved. And I've been known to be an evil person or get into some very dark things with my friends and associates. But there's this young lady or girl, woman, whatever. She kept talking about stuff, and I didn't get it. Although it would just pierce my spirit to hear her, I could feel all of my demons waking up wanting to fight. But one day I actually heard a voice. I'm going to say it's God. And it clicked. I'm on the wrong side of everything, including myself. And I needed to get back to me in order to be saved. And God wants me to give credit to that woman that kept talking about demons and exorcism and deliverance and all of that. Now I had to do it to myself because I didn't understand the situation. God spoke to me. I had to, you know, I had to. I didn't know who to turn to. Everybody I knew was like me. But lo and behold, God showed me. And if I look back, this young lady was talking about the same stuff. How to get rid of evil spirits that drive you into bad places. My life has changed. This is not even cliche. This ain't nothing I ever thought I'd say or rehearse. I'm serious. I feel so free today. I feel so accomplished. I don't know if the world will ever forgive me for my sins, but I know God has. I don't know if I'll ever go to jail for the things I've done. I don't know if I don't know, but I know God has forgiven me. God is real. And people are going to be like scratching every part of their body, like, what did they say? Yeah, her name, that lady, her name is LAVERA NESHAY. I don't know her last name. It's common. I think it's Johnson. She kept talking about these spirits, and when I looked in the spiritual mirror, and I don't even use those types of words, I saw. My demon's going, hey, peekaboo. Yeah, she's talking about you. And I was like, what? Me? And so I'm just saying, yeah, you. Yeah. Hello, you. Yeah, we're your demons. We've been here for a long time. Time for you to get rid of us. We don't like that. We want to keep you trapped. In fact, you got those appointments today for that evil stuff you do. You know our evil appointments and endeavors. So anyway, that's just my story. I'm sticking to it. You like my stories? Like, share, subscribe. Well, you ain't gotta do none of that. Because at some point, this lifetime, next lifetime, somewhere along the way, I'm gonna write a book. Because they don't want me to write nothing now. They probably take me out when I walk out. We good. I ain't scared of them, but I don't feel no unction to, oh, I gotta write it. I gotta. It's not even anything bad. It's only reality, life, deliverance, and freedom for people that are trapped in that life that don't want it anymore. Those that don't want the story, they don't have to read it. They don't have to worry about it. It's only a story of triumph. It tells the story of the gloom and doom and how people win and overcome. It's very simple. People have done this before. But anyway, it's 11 minutes in. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me again. If you're interested, just make a comment or like, share. I'll be back. Bye for now.